Hello everybody. Welcome to Storytime from the Milledgeville Public Library of Illinois. The story we have for you today comes from Australia, and this is the story of how the kangaroo got her pouch. Way back in the dreamtime, when the world was very young, the mother kangaroo had her very first baby, and she named him Joey. And she found Joey to be quite a handful. You see, when mother would go to take a drink, Joey would start to hop down the stream and into the stream to find out what was there, and he would get washed a little ways by the water. And when mother was trying to eat something, eat some of the delicious grass, Joey would decide to explore, and he would start to hop away. And mother was constantly afraid that Joey was going to get lost or get hurt. But you see, mother couldn't just hold on to him all of the time, for she had very small arms and they were not very strong. And so it was very hard to keep track of Joey. Well, one day, as mother and Joey were eating the sweet grass in the plain, they saw an old wombat crawling towards them. He looked very old, and he looked very tired. And mother called out to him and said, "Grandfather Wombat, what are you doing?" And he said, "Is there someone there? I'm very old, and I'm blind, and I haven't a friend in the world. I'm thirsty, so very thirsty." And Mother Kangaroo said, "Well, we will be your friends, little Joey and I. Here, take hold of my tail, Grandfather Wombat, and I will lead you to the water." And so Mother Kangaroo started to hop towards the water. But you see, Grandfather Wombat wasn't quite used to hopping. And as he was so old and so tired and so thirsty, he kept losing grip on her tail. And so it was a very long trip, because no sooner would Grandfather Wombat lose his grip than Mother Kangaroo would stop and the wombat would grab a hold again, but then they would find that Joey had wandered off. And Mother was constantly having to go bring Joey back and pick up Grandfather Wombat on her tail and hop forward some more, and then Grandfather Wombat would fall off and Joey would wander off, and it took so long to get to the water. When they finally got to the water, Mother Kangaroo let Grandfather Wombat drink and drink and drink and drink until he was finally not thirsty anymore. And then she said, "Grandfather Wombat, is there anything else we can do to help you?" And he said, "Well, I'm so very hungry." And she said, "Well, take hold of my tail, and I will take you to where the sweetest grasses grow." Well, the same thing happened on this trip as happened on the trip to the water. Only this was a little bit longer trip. So it took even longer, because the wombat kept falling off of her tail, and then Joey would wander away. Oh, it was terrible. But they finally got to where the sweetest grasses grow, and Grandfather Wombat began to eat and eat and eat. And Mother Kangaroo was eating a little bit herself and keeping an eye on Joey and keeping an eye on the wombat. And suddenly, Mother Kangaroo realized that something was wrong, and she looked about, and she saw a hunter coming towards them with the boomerang in his hand, and he was staring at old Grandfather Wombat, and he was just watching him and sneaking up on him. Well, Mother Kangaroo, she felt sorry for Grandfather Wombat. The poor old wombat just needed some food. And so Mother thought, "I will distract the hunter." And so she jumped up and down in front of the hunter until the hunter decided that kangaroo steak sounded better than a stringy old wombat. And so Mother started hopping away. The hunter chased her, and he threw his boomerang at her several times. But you see, Mother Kangaroo could hop faster than the hunter could run. And she could outrun the boomerang. And so she kept hopping forward and forward and forward and off in another direction and off in another direction, until finally the hunter just got tired and discouraged, and he went home. And Mother Kangaroo, when she saw that, she waited a little bit to be sure he was really gone. and then she hopped back to where she had left old Grandfather Wombat and Joey. Much to Mother's horror, when she got there, neither one of them were to be seen. Oh no, where was her Joey? Where was her Joey? Little Joey, where are you? Mother cried, and she began searching about the area trying to find her Joey and Grandfather Wombat. Where had they gone? Well, finally, she did find Joey. He was curled up under a tree taking a nap because he had gotten tired. So she picked him up in her arms and she said, "Oh, Joey, I'm so glad you're safe. Now, what happened to Grandfather Wombat?" And he said, "Well, Mother, I don't know. He just sort of disappeared." Well, Mother thought that was a bit strange, but, well, they looked a little bit for Grandfather Wombat and they couldn't find him, so Mother Kangaroo thought perhaps he had gone on his way. What Mother did not know is that Grandfather Wombat wasn't actually a wombat at all. He was the spirit of the Creator who had come down to earth to find kind animals and to help them and give them gifts. And since Mother Kangaroo had helped him so very much, the spirit of the Creator had gone back to his home and he had made her a dilly bag. It's a little bag made out of string. And he left it beside her that night while she was sleeping. Well, when Mother woke up in the morning, she found the dilly bag and she wasn't really sure what to do with it. But then she thought, perhaps if she tied it around her waist, she could carry Joey in it and he would not get lost. And so she tied it around her waist and she put Joey inside. And the spirit of the Creator saw what she had done and he reached down and he turned that dilly bag into a pouch on Mother Kangaroo's stomach. And from that day to this, all of the kangaroos and the other marsupials have had pouches on their fronts where they can carry their babies when they're really small so that they don't get lost and they don't get hurt. And that is the story of how the kangaroo got her pouch from Australia. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll join us again on Wednesday at 3 p.m. Central Daylight Time here from the Milledgeville Public Library of Illinois. And we'll have another story for you from somewhere around the world. Bye!